So Final Fantasy IV gets some love with Porom's return with her Lost Chapters and her EX Plus and rework, as well as Yang's rework and EX debut. Both these characters did receive level 70s prior to this video, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Their C65s and everything are the same. Now you may be thinking, well, this isn't Porom Yang. This is actually the new banner that came out with the Mayfair campaign. Do not touch it. Rem is a good character. She's fine to dig for just a bit. I wouldn't go too crazy, only if you're pretty crazy about Rem. She's a very good support, and again, like mentioned last time with King, Soul DFFOO uses her a ton. Big shout out to that man. But she's still a relatively good support with good turn manipulation, so she is okay to dig for. Fang, however, unfortunately, is still probably one of the worst characters in the game. Solely just because, like, she doesn't really have much, and she didn't really get much with her EX Plus debut, which is pretty unfortunate, but I can see a brighter future ahead for Fang, especially with a further rework, because she's gonna need that. But I wouldn't really go into this banner much like the other ones. Just do your free multis and just kind of hop out. They're just good to have around, just in case you could possibly scoop up one of their EXs. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop into what we're talking about. As I'm going to be doing at the beginning of the video, big shout out to the Tonberry Troop with their lovely infographics, as usual. If you are not following them on any of their social media, the ones that I can think of as their Facebook page and their Reddit, if you are not following them on any of that, please go ahead and do so. They are wonderful people. So let's go ahead and start off with Yang, get him out of the way. So Yang actually gets a pretty powerful rework, pretty much just kind of enhancing what he was able to do before. He gets access to a new frame buff that will actually will allow him to gain some significant stat boosts. His kick plus is actually now comparable to something like Ironea, where it's actually 2 brave gains, 8 hits, and then has 180% overflow and 180% splash. It's actually really insane how much damage this ability does now, which is really crazy. His second skill, Focus, just gets some pretty good upgrades, more of a brave gain, and it actually will follow up now with a 3-hit single target HP attack of 150% overflow. The amount of overflow that Yang actually got is pretty crazy. His EX is a 5-hit single target HP attack that will actually execute another attack. I can't remember the specific amount of hits, but you'll see it on the infographic. But it will follow up with another hit if he is attacking a target that is broken or breaking a target. So he gets benefits from breaking / attacking a broken target, which is pretty easy for Yang, not gonna lie. His EX Plus gives him some pretty standard fare stuff for the most part. His 3 out of 3 though is really where it shines, because it allows him to have access to an HP attack plus, which is a 2-hit single target HP attack with 20% splash and 120% overflow, which helps out his longevity a ton, as well as just enhancing the potencies and everything else. His 2 out of 3 will actually allow him to get a slight recast rate up, which is pretty nice, and allow him to start off with all of his buffs at the beginning of the quest, which is really good. So with all of that said, how is Yang for the Chaos Era? So Yang gets some really powerful reworks, and the upgrades that he got to Kick are actually comparable to the likes of Arnea, who has just some absurd amount of overflow and splash damage when she's in her plus variant. They both work primarily the same there. The only difference is Yang does not have any debuffs, nor does he have any party utility at all. He is all strictly damage, and that's all he works with. He buffs up himself, and that's pretty much it. So Yang, it does fall into the dime a dozen DPS category, which honestly, just because of that alone, I'm going to say he's not all that important for the Chaos Era. Albeit he did get a very, very impressive rework. He has some decent longevity now. His cons are, however, that most of his damage is tied to having the buff that he gets from using Focus, which, when that does go away, you do either need to refresh it, or you can just end up using it out of panic. So you just want to make sure that you're careful with that You want to make sure that you're maintaining young as best as you can, and keeping an eye on that buff just so it doesn't go away, so he's not losing out on the damage that he needs. Other than that, if they resist melee, he's got the usual cons for a melee DPS. They resist the melee, just don't bring him. No point. You can bring someone else. Well, but yeah, he's just got a little bit of micromanaging that you need to make sure that you're aware of. But other than that, he is still a pretty good character. If you do choose to build him up, as all DPS characters should be, definitely 3 out of 3 him. Because that's pretty much where you want him to be. Anyway, let's go on to the short stuff herself. Porom, I did try and pull a little bit. I did like 2 multis. I'm probably going to do 1 more multi when I get up to 5,000 again, and then like 30 tickets. No luck, as you saw. I pulled Young instead. But Porom got some pretty nice upgrades. Pretty much just everything that she did before is just better. Like, it's just better. Like, the amount of everything that she does is literally just better. So there's not really much anything I can talk about with her skills, because literally just think of everything that she did before, just better. She does everything better. She's got great auras that go to the party. Overall, 70% attack is always a nice sweet spot for support characters. Hit and support gets there. The HP damage reduction is still nice. She has the HP overflow, which is really great. So the survivability that Porom brings is just incredible. Her EX plus pretty much is like upgrades. Like, she gets more Brave gains, more battery to the party. She gets more HP heal. She gets 50% splash. Like, Porom just pretty much just gets more, and that's practically all she really needed to be usable for the Chaos Era. Like, that's legitimately it. Like, even she even gets an HP attack plus at 3 out of 3, which helps out a ton because it does more. It does more. Like, that's practically it. Like, this is literally as best as I can describe Porom's rework. It just does more. It pretty much just took what she already did and just does it, like, better.
Alright, I get it!
So, with that said, how is Porom for the Chaos Era? I know that was like the shortest of descriptions I've ever given the character before. What else do you want me to say? Like, that's just what it does. Like, I'm not good with specifics, and it does better. Anyway, so Porom brings a survivability that is unparalleled. Porom has the capabilities of reducing damage entirely by cutting it by a specific number or a specific percentage, as well as the HP overflow, the heals. Like, Porom works wonders, and as a strict support unit, she does that job well. I would say her real only con is just the fact that she has literally no brave shaving whatsoever, and that's pretty much it. Like, you know that you're getting into a character that is not there for damage. She does some decent damage, and especially her EX, that can actually follow up with some pretty heavy damage. But you're not bringing Porom for that specific reason. So really, I would say her only con is the fact that she can't brave shave whatsoever. Everything is just brave gains that dishes out to HP damage. And both of her skills actually don't dump brave after use, so you still are taking up turns using both of her abilities, Cry and Mycelium's Brilliance. So you want to make sure you can keep that in mind. Porom is still a relatively slow character and will eat up some turns when using both of those abilities. Albeit while both of those abilities are great and have great benefits, she will be slowing down your turn count by a decent margin. So pretty much what you want to do is you just want to bring alongside 2 super fast and heavy DPS units, especially since she's mostly aura based, like characters like Lightning, Vayne, characters that take additional turns, multiple turns, Aranea. They really benefit off of a character like Porom because she's all specifically aura based. So she helps out in that regard, and you can bring 2 DPS alongside of her to really make her stick and work for the team. That's really where her true strength lies, is working alongside of 2 really fast DPSs. So, and as long as you build a specific team around her, Porom can be pretty much just slapped into any team, but you do want to make sure that you want to make sure that you're cautious of the amount of turns that she can eat, especially on those like really turn restricted chaoses. because Porom can actually affect that a lot. So even with all that said, I do 100% believe that Porom is important for the Chaos era. The survivability that she brings to the party is, like I said, is just unparalleled. Like, you literally, if you bring Porom, you just won't die. Like, you won't die. And that's pretty much what you want out of this character. That's why you chose to build her up. It's just the fact that you're not going to die if you have Porom on the team. If you can overlook a bit of her cons and just build some teams to really help out with those specific cons, then Porom will work for you. She will probably be the lifesaver on a lot of chaoses. She'll help you get through a lot of chaoses. I do 100% believe that Porom is important for the chaos era. She can be a safe 0 out of 3. If you really want to further enhance her, obviously go for the 3 out of 3. I do think that she's safe at 0 out of 3. That's me personally. But if you want to run her at max, obviously 3 out of 3 is the way you want to go. So anyway, with that said, let's rough recap. Porom is a yes, Yang is a no, but is still a good character and can fulfill the DPS role for you just fine. So with all that said, thank you guys a ton for watching. That'll wrap it up with this one. If you do pull on the banner, I do wish you the best of luck. This is definitely a very high priority banner, and most of the banners that we're going to be getting this month. So if you are in need of a character in Porom specialty, make sure you hop in. But if you do, best of luck to you guys, and thank you a ton for watching. I'll see you in the next one.